Hey there, fellas. Today we've got a neat new experiment in store for you. You might have seen this car before. And these are suspension links. You can see what sort of shape they're in. The problem with these is the bushings failing all too often. It's a common issue. They can legitimately get this bad. These are totally rooted. So some of the viewers have been asking what sort of solution there is. So let's assume you've been driving and you've grown tired of the suspension knocking. Sometimes it can become almost impossible to continue driving. So is there a quick fix for the problem? One specific request was for us to try using sealant to make some bushings, albeit not the usual variety, but what they use for windshields. There we've got a bit of windshield sealant, also a gun for applying it, and some primer, which we lay down first and then fill the space with sealant after. That should get it to stick well to the suspension bits. I mean to the eyelet and the inner metal sleeve. It's all pretty straightforward. Now we just need to bring the car up, remove the suspension links. These are some spares that we had lying around. So from there we remove the bushings, prep the surface, apply some primer, then the sealer itself, then we wait for it to cure, install the links, and go out to do some testing. We'll see how well they work in just a bit, but for now let's get to work. Fellas, I'd just like to say thank you for your support and for your kind words. I'm well now and everything's good. Now you yourselves take care, and make sure to take all of the necessary precautions given the situation we're in. Now the latest addition to our online shop are these lovely face masks that'll help keep you safe from all sorts of nasty infections. Now at the moment it's August and the rainy autumn season is right around the corner, meaning it's time to buy some warm clothing. We're offering you guys these fantastic hoodies from our shop, and as of recently we've also got these awesome vests for sale. On top of that we've got a bunch of other stuff, and we're always adding something new to the product line. For example, not too long ago, we began to offer these nifty lighters and air fresheners. So go ahead and give our online shop a visit. Get yourself some G54 merch. And when using the code from the video description, you can buy some stuff at a good discount. Bushings made using windshield sealer. Will they work? Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. All right, we seem to be looking good. The sealant is super hard. The metal is barely moving. That tells us that it's sitting tightly, and that's a good thing. Though there is some elasticity. Well, I mean, it's about the same as a regular bushing. Yeah, they seem to be held in there firmly. They're nicely glued in, though the sleeves are slightly offset. This is what we're looking at. I don't think it's that big of a problem. And so now it's all a matter of grabbing these links, fitting them to a car. Then we head out and do a bit of hard driving. Okay, look here, all of the links are in place, we've stuck in all of the bolts, and after that we went ahead and loaded the trunk with a whole bunch of metal and other junk. Now that's so the car doesn't buck forward, because you see, when you prop the rear axle on an empty car, the rear end can rise up from the lift prior to the springs being fully compressed, before they're able to assume their working position. Now, why is it important to load the suspension before you tighten the bushings? Well, it's all because they need to be tightened while in their working position. as they would be when the car is sitting on the road. You can't just have the wheels hanging. Now, we did notice that at some shops, the mechanics, they just do not care. They think it's okay to tighten the bolts while just leaving the wheels hanging. And when asked why they do that, the answer is they'll come back in for repairs sooner. That's what you get for not paying attention. Okay, let's tighten them, bring the car down, and head out. Okay, let's do this. Right. It's fighting back. No worries. It's not going to be able to keep that up for long. We've mounted some cameras down there next to the bushings to see what they're up to. What seems to be the problem? Okay, here we go. Fucking toilet bowl. Well, it's still moving. Not bad. I don't hear any abnormal sounds. Nothing unusual, all is well. Very good. I do seem to feel some adverse effects, but that's just old age. The car is just tired. Those were the shocks. That's totally normal. They are quite obviously shot after so many years of service. The carburetor doesn't work well either, with it being so old. It could definitely use a good clean. Terrific. Exceptional. I dig it. Hopefully we don't splash water onto the cameras from those puddles. I'd say this is going rather well so far, but we've only traveled about 100 meters or so. It's way too early to start drawing conclusions. Oh, for God's sake. As always, we've got... Oh, wow, is this thing unstable? That seems to be it. The moment I made it onto some smooth pavement. Driving this at any sort of decent speed is pretty much impossible. What exactly is going on and why can't we go fast? Well, on a Lada, when the panhard rod bushings are screwed, the axle begins to move around quite a lot, and the car starts to get tossed around. That looks like one of our employees. I guess I'd better pick her up. I just blew past and didn't even notice.
You filming something? Can I get a ride?
Sure. Why are you so late to work? Nobody said this was going to be easy. Let's go that way.
I thought you were going straight to base.
We'll go for a quick spin first.
How long have you been a cab driver?
I don't know, maybe about 10, 15 minutes? I haven't really been keeping track.
Do you have a license?
Of course, for various types of vehicles.
Except for passenger cars.
Say what?
Passenger cars.
Oh, yeah, right.
Can I pay the fare later?
Yeah, sure. I feel as if everything has just fallen off. Even the ashtray has flown out. I should go drive some more. Listen to the suspension. Taking it easy. Careful. I guess you can call this express testing of our suspension bushings. But something tells me I did feel some hard impacts, but things don't seem to have gotten much worse. Let's see. Oh, there we are. Like I already mentioned, the bushings are totally wrecked. Let's get the car onto a lift and see what's up. Well, this was definitely to be expected. Look at what has happened. They're not exactly busted. I mean, at the end of the day, we are dealing with glass sealer, and though it is quite durable and works well with glass, here, well, not so much. It's as if the bushing is alive or something. I can easily move the link around, like, with no effort whatsoever. It appears that this isn't the ideal material for such a purpose. Well, in any case, I do think we should remove these links. I mean, at least a couple of them. And give them a close-up examination. Let's do that and have a look, shall we? Yep, just like I was saying. Look at what has become of them. Yeah, they have absolutely been torn to pieces. What's interesting is that it's only on one side that the sealer bushings have completely gone to waste. You can see that they're torn. This sealer is just too soft to work. I mean, it does work pretty well for... I'm sure plenty of people who repair their own cars know that if you need to glue something very firmly, whatever that may be. Anyway, the point is that if regular sealant isn't working, then glass sealer should do the trick. With it being stickier. Especially with the primer, that'll keep it there forever. Especially if it's on your hands. But in our situation, this didn't do it for us. The metal sleeves have been ripped out, all of them, which was to be expected. On top of that, it seems to be pretty badly beat up. So these bushings aren't even bushings. Okay, so the sealer didn't work, but there are plenty of other materials available aside from sealant. Materials that we've definitely worked with before and will continue to work with, though I can assure you that we've never used them to make bushings. This, however, did not work. This was an absolute failure. It doesn't hold up. You have to wait for a long time, and getting it off your hands is a complete nightmare. Well, and that's all I got for you. Watch us, subscribe, send in your comments and suggestions, of course. Oh yeah, and feel free to share your ideas on what else we could use to make us some bushings. But for now, that's it. See you guys later.